Blackpool Pleasure Beach's 2022 season is shaping up to be an exciting one for thrill seekers, with Valhalla returning to the lineup for the first time since 2019, Icon's spinning back carriage being added to the ride, and then the retracking of the Big One and the Grand National on certain sections of both coasters. In this video, we're going to give you an insight into what to expect from Blackpool Pleasure Beach in 2022 as far as opening hours go, the pricing debate, our tips for your visits, and much more.
The 2022 season at Blackpool Pleasure Beach begins with white knuckle weekends from Saturday the 12th of February. From then onwards, the park will be open for weekends only through to early April. During these weekenders, the Pleasure Beach will open from 11 AM and close at 5 PM. Opening hours may change depending on the weather and crowd levels. From the beginning of April, Blackpool Pleasure Beach will be open daily with varying opening times depending on how busy the park is expected to be. From September, Pleasure Beach will not be open every day, but still for most of the week. The schedule shows that they'll be closed on a Monday and Tuesday most of the weeks in September. In October, they're open every day, and then in November, it's back to weekends only.
If you're looking to visit on a quiet day, at the start of the season, pick a Sunday to visit when it's likely to be absolutely freezing. Days like that in the past have been some of the best days to visit because everything has been so quiet. Of course, we make no guarantees of that being the same this year, but from memory, the very cold Sundays at the start of the season tend to be the best days to get a very big ride count. For the rest of the season, quiet days tend to be weekdays in May, but not during school holidays. September weekdays are usually very quiet, and October weekdays are usually fairly quiet too, but again, not during school holiday time. And once again, we're not making any promises on the crowd levels here. We're just basing it off previous years of regularly visiting. There's plenty of 10 AM to 10 PM dates in the Blackpool Pleasure Beach calendar for 2022. The following days are currently scheduled as 12-hour days. Saturday the 16th of April, Saturday the 4th of June, Saturday the 25th of June, Saturday the 23rd of July, Saturday 30th of July, Saturday the 6th of August, Saturday the 27th of August, Saturday the 24th of September, and Saturday the 29th of October. A top tip if you want to see similar amounts or more of the 10 PM closing times in the calendar next year. Don't stop spending after 6 PM and keep riding the rides right through to the end. This is not advice from the Pleasure Beach. This is me asking you to support these events as best you can, especially if you're a Blackpool Pleasure Beach season pass holder like me. Staying on the subject of later closing times, here's one that could easily be missed. Monday, the 31st of October is currently scheduled as a 4 PM to 9:30 PM day. And still staying on the subject of afternoon openings, I'm pleasantly surprised to see the later openings on the calendar for Fridays in September again. They're also scheduled with an opening time of 4 PM and a closing time of 9:30 PM. Last year, the Friday nights in September were some of the quietest days I've ever seen at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. However, they were about as quiet as a Friday weekday in September would be as well. I do think the Friday opening hours in the evenings are a great idea, especially because the Blackpool illuminations are on. I just hope they're busier this year.
Now, for the tricky subject of pricing. It's something I think we have to discuss because Pleasure Beach's pricing structure is constantly under scrutiny, even though they offer comparable pricing to their competitors. Let's start by looking at the pricing for the white knuckle weekends in February. When booking online, it's £39 for a Saturday and £36 for a Sunday. These prices remain the same in March as well. In April, the prices do start to vary from day to day and week to week. So to avoid this becoming a bore, we'll go through it quickly. Online prices in April vary between £40 and £44. It is worth noting prices will increase if you book on the day. The pricing structure for the rest of the season remains very much the same.
The Pleasure Beach have lately been accused of being overpriced and not offering good value. Something I don't entirely agree with, however I'm not going to say the pricing structure is perfect. This video may be geared towards being an informative guide, but I do think we should cover the pricing debate in a bit of detail. I recently made this comparison on Facebook and I do feel it's relevant to this point. So I'm going to pick a random day here, Saturday the 16th of April 2022. A busy day for everyone because it's Easter Saturday, so it's peak times everywhere, big crowds everywhere. So let's have a look at the pricing at Blackpool Pleasure Beach and one of its main competitors. So Blackpool Pleasure Beach on the 16th of April 2022, an e-ticket for anyone who's 12 or older is £44 a person when booked in advance. On the day, it'll cost £46. Opening hours on this day are 10 AM to 10 PM at the Pleasure Beach, so 12 hours of fun and thrills for £44 per person. On the same date, Alton Towers are charging £42 online for advance bookings. Their gate price, or on the day price, is £62. So it's a bigger saving than the Pleasure Beach in fairness, but with much shorter opening hours. Usually when I make this comparison, I'm informed that all Merlin parks have 50% off vouchers, which they do, but this comparison is online price versus online price. Alton Towers is slightly cheaper, but who's actually offering the better value? Blackpool Pleasure Beach at £44 for 12 hours, or Alton Towers at £42 for 7 hours? I'll let you decide on that one. Staying on the point of these particular parks, let's take into account the 50% off offers that the Merlin parks have. There's absolutely no doubting that they offer fantastic value, but let's remember the 50% off is off the gate price, so whilst it is a significant saving, it's still not a massive gap from Blackpool Pleasure Beach's online prices. For the record, I've not chosen to compare with Alton Towers to point score about which park is better. I've made this comparison because Blackpool Pleasure Beach are always criticised for pricing, and the first competitor that is always mentioned in comparison is Alton Towers. There is going to be some days where Alton Towers offer much better value, especially when they're both open for shorter hours than they would be on a peak day. So I think it would be fair to say that both offer good and bad value at different times of the year.
If you want to save money going to these parks, buy a season pass. In most cases, visiting 3 or 4 times means you've got your money's worth and more. Moving away from pricing for now, let's look at the notable changes at the Pleasure Beach for 2022 that we are aware of. Valhalla returns to the lineup for the first time since 2019 following its reimagining. The changes to it are so far unknown. It's not expected to reopen before the summer. A date will be announced by the Pleasure Beach in due course. Icon is having a spinning carriage added to one of its trains, replacing the standard forward-facing seats. It is unknown how this will be implemented into the station, as far as loading and unloading the train goes. There have been rumours and suggestions that this will be an upcharged experience, but there is no confirmation about this so far. Like with Valhalla, there is no confirmed date for when the spinning seats on Icon will be available.
The big one is having its biggest retrack since the 1990s, with 103 metres of track being replaced. Whilst it has been confirmed that the big one is unlikely to be ready for February, it's fair to assume it will be open sometime in March, hopefully. The best news is that the Grand National is scheduled to reopen sometime from spring. Last year the Grand National closed in mid-October with a little bit of uncertainty about its future, but the Pleasure Beach's engineering team have been working tirelessly on it to replace sections of timber and track to improve the ride all around. It will be fantastic to see this classic coaster back open, and I can't wait to get back on it in the spring.
Moving on to information about season passes. There is no longer registration days like there used to be. Season passes can now be registered online. Once your season pass has been registered, you can follow it up by pre-booking your first visit of the season. You can only pre-book 7 days in advance usually, or as it is at the minute, you can pre-book for the first few weekends of the season. At this moment in time, I am not sure if pass holders will need to pre-book all season. Hopefully not. I do miss being able to just decide to go at the last minute without thinking about pre-booking beforehand. Anyway, once you have confirmed your visit date by pre-booking, an e-ticket will then be generated and you will receive a notification and an email to confirm this. While season pass registration days are a thing of the past, you can still collect your physical season pass, and I fully recommend this. Without it, you won't get the pass discounts on things like merchandise and catering. You can collect your physical season pass card from either the Globe or the Ticket Centre, both by the entrance of the park. It's worth knowing that you will need your unique pass number and booking reference number when doing this.
The good news about the Blackpool Pleasure Beach Season Pass is you can literally visit every day of the season if you want. There is no limit and no upcharge for booking on the busier days. But with that said, it's only fair to book when you know for definite that you can visit, and not to book on the off chance that you might be able to visit.
Blackpool Pleasure Beach offer an Easy Pass ride access service for guests who have a recognised medical condition which prevents them from being able to queue for an access to a ride or attraction. Whilst not all of the rides are available on this service, a large number of rides are available to be used with the Easy Pass, and it's a very useful option when required. There is a link in the video description to the page on Pleasure Beach's website with further details. That brings us to the end of our Blackpool Pleasure Beach 2022 guide. Hopefully it has been useful or will be useful to you for the upcoming season. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next Pleasure Beach Experience video.